Have you ever felt that despite following all the right health advice, you're still experiencing more aches, pains, and fatigue than you should be? You're not alone. What many of us over 60 don't realize is that the very habits we believe are helping us might actually be causing our problems. This information changed my life, and it could change yours too. Hello, everyone. I'm James, and welcome to another episode of Golden Age Secrets, the channel created specifically for those of us in our golden years. Today's video is especially important for anyone over 60 who wants to maintain their independence and feel better every day. I'm revealing 10 common habits that doctors are now warning seniors to stop immediately. Habits that many of us do daily without realizing the harm they cause. By the end of this video, you'll discover which seemingly healthy habits could be secretly contributing to your joint pain, disrupted sleep, decreased energy, and even cognitive issues. And please, stay until number 10. It's something almost everyone does daily, and changing it made the single biggest difference in my own health after 70. When my doctor first told me that several of my lifelong healthy habits were actually causing my health problems, I was skeptical. After all, I'd been following conventional wisdom for decades. But as a fellow senior who's lived through the same era as you, I can tell you that what worked for us in our 40s and 50s can actually harm us in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. The problem is that our bodies change as we age, but the health advice we follow often doesn't adapt with us. What's more, many of these outdated habits are reinforced by well-meaning family members or healthcare providers who haven't kept up with the latest research on aging. If you've been feeling that your body isn't responding the way it used to, despite your best efforts, this video was made specifically for you. Let's examine these 10 habits that might be silently undermining your health and independence, working our way toward the most surprising one that almost everyone over 60 does daily. Habit number 1. Completely eliminating salt from your diet. If you're like me, you've probably heard for decades that salt is terrible for your blood pressure and heart health. Many of us dutifully eliminated salt from our cooking, chose low-sodium products, and felt virtuous about it. I know I did. But here's what your doctor might not have told you. Completely eliminating salt can be dangerous for seniors. As we age, our risk of developing hyponatremia, low blood sodium, actually increases, especially if you're taking certain blood pressure medications, antidepressants, or pain relievers. The symptoms might sound familiar: confusion, fatigue, weakness, headaches, and even increased fall risk. These are often mistakenly attributed to just getting older, when they may actually be signs of too little sodium. I discovered this myself when I became increasingly dizzy and exhausted, despite following my perfect salt-free diet. My doctor actually found my sodium levels had dropped dangerously low. Adding a measured amount of salt back into my cooking not only resolved my symptoms, but made food enjoyable again. Something especially important for those of us who experience diminished taste as we age. If you've been religiously avoiding all salt, talk to your healthcare provider about finding the right balance for your specific situation. The appropriate amount of sodium for a 70-year-old may be quite different than for a 40-year-old, especially depending on your medications and overall health. Habit number 2, taking long hot showers or baths daily. This one was particularly hard for me to give up. There's nothing quite like a long, steamy shower or hot bath to ease stiff joints and muscles, right? That's what I always believed. What I didn't realize, and what many seniors don't know, is that prolonged exposure to hot water creates special risks for those of us over 60. Our skin has become thinner and drier with age, and hot water strips away the natural oils we need for protection, leading to intense itching, cracking, and discomfort that can disrupt sleep and quality of life. Even more concerning is the cardiovascular impact. Hot water causes blood vessels to dilate, which can lead to a dangerous drop in blood pressure when you stand up. For us seniors, especially those taking heart or blood pressure medications, this significantly increases fall risk, one of the greatest threats to our continued independence. I reluctantly shortened my beloved 20-minute hot showers after experiencing increasing skin problems and lightheadedness. The improvement was remarkable, not just in my skin's appearance and comfort, but also in my overall energy levels without that post-shower fatigue. If you're currently enjoying long hot baths or showers, try gradually reducing both the temperature and duration. Using warm rather than hot water for about 10 minutes provides the cleaning and comfort benefits without the risks. Your skin, and possibly your energy levels, will thank you within days. Habit number 3, restricting fluids to avoid bathroom trips. Raise your hand if you've ever limited your water intake, especially in the afternoon or evening, to reduce how often you need to use the bathroom. I know I did this for years, as do countless other seniors. It seems so logical. Drink less, urinate less, especially if nighttime bathroom trips disrupt your sleep or if you worry about accidents when you're out running errands. But this habit creates serious problems for older bodies. What most seniors don't realize is that chronic mild dehydration causes or worsens many common age-related complaints: constipation, confusion, dizziness, fatigue, headaches, and even increased fall risk. It can also reduce the effectiveness of medications, impair temperature regulation, and accelerate kidney problems. Perhaps most surprising, restricting fluids can actually make bladder problems worse, not better, by irritating the bladder lining and concentrating urine. This often creates a vicious cycle where inadequate hydration leads to more urgent and frequent urination, not less. I spent years limiting my water intake until my doctor connected my increasing confusion and severe constipation to chronic dehydration. When I finally started drinking adequate fluids earlier in the day, these symptoms improved dramatically within just a week. Instead of restricting overall fluid intake, try strategic timing, drinking more earlier in the day and tapering in the evening. If nighttime urination continues to be problematic, speak with your doctor about possible causes that can be treated, such as sleep apnea or an overactive bladder. Don't simply accept frequent urination as an inevitable part of aging, that you must manage by dehydrating yourself. Habit number 4, doing only safe, low-impact exercise. Like many seniors, I was told walking is the safest and most appropriate exercise for people our age. I dutifully took my daily walks, believing I was doing everything necessary for my fitness. What I didn't know, and what many healthcare providers fail to tell seniors, is that relying exclusively on gentle, low-impact exercise like walking actually accelerates age-related decline in critical areas. The research is clear. Adults over 60 need 3 types of exercise: cardiovascular training, strength training, and balance work. Most of us focus only on the first one, completely neglecting the other 2. This neglect has serious consequences. After 50, we lose 1 to 2% of our muscle mass annually, unless we actively work to maintain it through resistance training. This loss, called sarcopenia, affects our metabolism, balance, bone density, and ability to recover from illness or injury. I discovered this truth the hard way when I began struggling to get up from low chairs and feeling increasingly unsteady despite my regular walks. Adding just 2 weekly sessions of simple strength exercises with resistance bands and balance challenges transformed my functional abilities within months. If you're currently doing only walking or similar low-impact cardio, you're missing critical components of fitness that become more important, not less, as we age. You don't need a gym membership or heavy weights. Resistance bands, body weight exercises, or even lifting household items can provide adequate resistance. The key is including all 3 fitness components rather than believing walking alone is sufficient. Habit number 5, spending most of your time indoors. After retirement, many of us gradually spend more and more time inside our homes. This seems reasonable. Indoor environments are controlled, familiar, and free from hazards like uneven sidewalks or bad weather. If you have mobility challenges or safety concerns, staying home might seem like the prudent choice. What many seniors don't realize is that this indoor lifestyle creates significant health problems that often get attributed to just getting older. Reduced exposure to natural light disrupts your circadian rhythms, contributing to sleep disorders, vitamin D deficiency, mood disturbances, and even cognitive decline. Did you know that indoor air is often significantly more polluted than outdoor air, even in urban areas? This can worsen respiratory conditions and allergies that are already more common in our age group. Perhaps most significant is the sensory deprivation that comes with limited environmental variation. Our aging brains need stimulation from different sights, sounds, temperatures, and interactions to maintain neural pathways. Without this variety, cognitive decline accelerates. I noticed my mood and energy plummeting after a winter of staying almost exclusively indoors. Making a point of simply sitting outside for 15 minutes each morning with my coffee transformed both my sleep quality and overall outlook within days. If getting outdoors seems challenging due to mobility issues, even sitting near an open window on a porch or in a protected garden area provides benefits. For those with more significant limitations, Bringing elements of nature indoors through plants, natural light, or nature videos can help, though direct outdoor exposure is ideal when possible. Habit number 6, using the same prescription glasses for years. Many of us pride ourselves on practicality and frugality, using the same eyeglasses for many years beyond their intended lifespan. If they're not broken and seem to work well enough, why replace them? What many seniors don't realize is that vision changes accelerate after 60, and wearing outdated prescriptions creates problems far beyond simply not seeing clearly. Improper vision correction strains the eyes, causes headaches, increases fall risk due to depth perception issues, and unnecessarily limits activities like reading, driving, or enjoying hobbies. Many older adults gradually give up activities they once enjoyed, never realizing that the problem isn't their eyes' capability, but simply an outdated prescription. This withdrawal from enjoyable activities can contribute to isolation and depression. I resisted updating my 5-year-old glasses despite my daughter pointing out how often I was squinting and tilting my head. When I finally relented, the difference was astonishing. The world appeared sharper, colors more vibrant, and activities I had been gradually abandoning, like evening driving and reading for pleasure, became enjoyable again. If cost is a concern, many organizations offer vision care assistance for seniors, and certain Medicare Advantage plans include vision benefits, regular eye examinations, at least annually after 65, and updating prescriptions as recommended are not luxuries, but essential preventive health measures that directly impact quality of life and independence. Habit number 7, relying primarily on pain medication for chronic conditions. If you're like many seniors, you probably experience some form of chronic pain from arthritis, back problems, or other conditions. The easiest solution often seems to be reaching for over-the-counter pain relievers like ibuprofen, aspirin, or acetaminophen, sometimes taking them daily for years. What many older adults don't realize is that long-term use of these medications creates special risks for seniors. Regular use of NSAIDs like ibuprofen significantly increases the risk of gastrointestinal bleeding, kidney damage, and cardiovascular events. And these risks increase substantially with age. Acetaminophen, while safer in some respects, can cause liver problems with regular use, especially at higher doses. Perhaps more importantly, relying exclusively on pain medication means missing out on treatments that could provide more lasting relief with fewer side effects. Many seniors never discover that targeted exercises, physical therapy, proper footwear, assistive devices, or stress reduction techniques could address their underlying issues rather than just masking symptoms. I took ibuprofen daily for knee arthritis until developing alarming stomach problems. Working with a physical therapist, I learned specific strengthening exercises and proper movement patterns that reduced my pain dramatically. I still occasionally use medication, but it's now my backup plan rather than my primary strategy. If you're currently managing chronic pain primarily through medication, consider asking your healthcare provider about complementary approaches that might address the root causes. This doesn't mean abandoning pain relief, but rather building a more comprehensive approach that might actually reduce your need for medications over time. Habit number 8, maintaining an excessively clean home environment. Many of us take pride in keeping an immaculate home, using multiple cleaning products daily and disinfecting surfaces frequently. This habit often intensifies after retirement when we have more time available for household tasks. What many seniors don't realize is that excessive use of cleaning products creates special risks for older adults. As we age, our respiratory systems become more vulnerable to irritation, and many cleaning chemicals can trigger or worsen asthma, bronchitis, or other breathing difficulties. The chemicals in many cleaners are also harsh on aging skin, which is already thinner and drier. This can lead to irritation, contact dermatitis, and even chemical burns with prolonged exposure. Some household cleaners contain compounds that have been linked to neurological effects with repeated exposure, particularly concerning for our already changing brains. Perhaps most surprisingly, emerging research suggests that overly sterile environments might actually weaken immune function. Moderate exposure to everyday microbes appears to help maintain immune regulation, while extremely sanitized environments may contribute to immune system dysregulation. After developing a persistent cough that worsened on cleaning days, I gradually switched to simpler cleaning methods and products with fewer harsh chemicals. Not only did my respiratory symptoms improve, but the skin irritation I'd been experiencing on my hands also resolved. Basic cleanliness is certainly important, but consider whether your cleaning routine has become excessive. Microfiber cloths with water can handle many cleaning tasks effectively, and milder products can be used for routine cleaning, saving stronger disinfectants for situations that truly require them. Habit number 9, maintaining the same eating schedule throughout life. Many of us grew up with rigid eating patterns, 3 square meals a day, with dinner often being the largest meal. We carry these patterns into our later years without considering whether they still serve our changing metabolism and lifestyle. What many seniors don't realize is that our digestive systems and metabolism change significantly after 60. Your stomach empties more slowly, your metabolism decreases, and your sleep patterns often shift. Continuing to eat the same way you did decades ago, particularly consuming large evening meals, often contributes to indigestion, poor sleep quality, and weight gain. Many older adults also experience decreased appetite in the morning and increased hunger at other times, yet force themselves to eat substantial breakfasts while limiting afternoon intake because that's how it's always been done. I suffered years of digestive discomfort and poor sleep before experimenting with making lunch my main meal and having a lighter dinner at least 3 hours before bedtime. The improvement was immediate. Better digestion, more energy in the afternoon, and significantly improved sleep quality. Consider whether your eating schedule matches your current needs rather than habits established decades ago. For many seniors, eating smaller, more frequent meals throughout the day, making lunch rather than dinner, the largest meal, or adjusting meal timing to align with medication schedules and natural hunger cues works better than rigidly maintaining traditional meal patterns. Habit number 10, following outdated rest recommendations during illness or injury. And now we reach the most counterintuitive habit on our list, one that almost every senior follows daily when dealing with health challenges, whether minor or serious. This is the habit that made the single biggest difference in my recovery from several health issues after age 70. For our entire lives, we've been told that the proper response to illness or injury is extended rest. Feeling under the weather? Stay in bed until you're better. Twisted your ankle? Stay off it completely until it's healed. Back pain? Bed rest until it subsides. What most seniors don't know is that modern medical research has completely reversed this approach. While appropriate rest is important during acute illness or immediately following injury, prolonged inactivity creates serious problems that compound dramatically with age. The statistics are shocking. Just 1 week of bed rest can cause older adults to lose 10 to 20% of their muscle strength, a loss that can take months to rebuild if it can be recovered at all. Extended inactivity increases the risk of blood clots, pressure sores, pneumonia, and constipation. Perhaps most alarming for those of us concerned about maintaining independence, prolonged rest can trigger a rapid decline in functional abilities that may become permanent. For most conditions, including many types of back pain, arthritis flares, and recovery from procedures, appropriate modified movement is now recommended over complete rest. This doesn't mean ignoring pain or pushing through severe symptoms, but rather working with healthcare providers to maintain as much safe activity as possible, even during illness or recovery. I experienced this firsthand after minor surgery when my doctor encouraged walking the same day, completely contradicting what I expected based on previous experiences. Following this advice, despite my skepticism, led to a remarkably faster recovery than my previous surgery, where I had remained inactive for days. If you're currently responding to health challenges with extended rest periods, speak with your healthcare provider about appropriate activity levels during recovery. You might be surprised to learn that what feels like being kind to your body might actually be causing harm. Now that we've explored these 10 habits that could be silently undermining your health and independence, let me offer some guidance specifically for fellow seniors looking to make positive changes. First, approach changes gradually, rather than attempting to modify multiple habits simultaneously. Choose the 1 or 2 habits that seem most relevant to your current situation and begin there. At our age, dramatic overnight changes are rarely sustainable. Second, consult with healthcare providers familiar with geriatric medicine about adjustments appropriate for your individual health conditions. The principles we've discussed apply broadly to older adults, but your particular circumstances might require personalized adaptations. Third, be patient with yourself during transitions. Habits formed over 6 or 7 decades naturally take time to modify. Small, consistent changes often prove more sustainable than dramatic overhauls, especially for those of us who have been doing things a certain way for most of our lives. Fourth, pay attention to improvements, however subtle, when you adjust these habitual patterns. Noticing positive changes, better sleep, improved mobility, increased energy, reinforces your motivation to continue. Keep a simple journal to track these changes if it helps you recognize progress. Finally, share what you learn with your friends and peers. Many of us follow these potentially harmful habits simply because we've never been presented with updated information specifically relevant to our stage of life. By sharing this knowledge, you might help someone else avoid unnecessary suffering. I hope identifying these seemingly beneficial but potentially harmful habits helps you make informed choices about your daily routines. Remember, aging well isn't about following generic advice. It's about understanding your body's changing needs and adapting accordingly. If you found this information valuable, especially if habit number 10 was as surprising to you as it was to me, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to our Golden Age Secrets channel. We create content specifically for those of us in our golden years, addressing the unique challenges and opportunities of this stage of life. Until next time, this is James, wishing you health, wisdom, and joy in your golden years.